In a dense and colorful forest, a tiny ant lived with her family. From the very beginning, she impressed everyone with her wisdom, hard work, and the way she always stayed ahead. But as time passed, a strange desire began to grow in her heart. Whenever she saw the peacock dancing, she thought, "Everyone admires him. Why does no one ever look at me?" When she saw the butterfly flying freely in the air, she sighed, "If only I had wings, I could touch the sky too. Why was I made only to crawl on the ground?" Even when she saw the squirrel leaping from one tree to another, she burned with envy inside. Slowly, her heart filled with jealousy and bitterness. The ant who once collected food before anyone else now stayed behind. The sparkle in her eyes faded away. Other ants would often ask, "Why do you look so sad?" but she only smiled weakly and stayed silent. Then one day, a terrible storm and heavy rain struck the forest. Trees were uprooted, rivers overflowed their banks, and countless animals lost their homes. The butterfly's delicate wings became soaked and heavy, and she could no longer fly. The squirrel's strong tree collapsed to the ground, leaving her shivering in the cold. Even the peacock's colorful feathers were drenched, and he could not spread them to dance. Chaos spread everywhere. But deep underground, the ants' carefully built tunnels remained safe. Their tiny burrows became a shield against the storm. When the little ant saw this scene, a deep feeling rose in her heart. "I wasted my time envying the blessings of others. But today, they are the ones in need. Can I do something for them?" At that moment, she made a firm decision. She gathered all the ants in the colony and said, "We must help others. Together, we can save them." Hundreds of ants marched out in lines. Some gently carried the butterfly on their backs to a dry place. Some built a soft bed of leaves for the shivering squirrel. Some cleaned the peacock's wet feathers so he could lift his head once more. The larger animals were astonished. How could such tiny creatures have such enormous hearts? For the first time in her life, the little ant felt proud of who she was. She realized she was far more precious than she ever believed. From that day, she stopped comparing herself with others. She understood that every creature has its own purpose. When we discover our true strengths and use them to help others, we become truly special. Jealousy makes us blind to our own worth. We waste our days wishing for what others have while forgetting the gifts hidden within us. But real greatness is not in beauty, wings, or strength. It is in kindness, service, and the courage to use what we already have for the good of others. Being small is never a weakness. A big heart makes the smallest one the greatest of all. If this little story gave you a lesson today, press the like button, share it with someone who needs it, and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'd love to know.